Chosen ones, if this message has found you right now, understand this clearly. It is not random, it is not coincidence, and it is not by chance. Something powerful is aligning for you in the third week of January 2026, especially between the 22nd and the 25th. And the universe is making sure this message reaches only those who are ready to receive it. For many of you, the last few weeks have felt heavy, confusing, and emotionally intense. You may have questioned your path, your purpose, and even your faith at times. But what you didn't realize is that everything you've been experiencing was preparation, a silent initiation, a spiritual test that had to happen before the miracles could arrive. During these days, the energy around you begins to shift in a way that cannot be ignored. You may wake up feeling different, as if something inside you has quietly clicked into place. Old fears begin to lose their grip. Thoughts that once haunted you no longer have the same power. This is the first sign that the miracles have already started unfolding. The universe is removing internal blocks before it delivers external blessings. What once felt delayed suddenly begins to move, and what once felt impossible starts showing cracks of opportunity. Between January 22nd and 25th, many chosen ones will experience sudden changes that feel almost unreal. You may receive unexpected news, a message, or an opportunity that seems to arrive out of nowhere. But this is not luck. This is divine timing responding to your patience, your suffering, and your inner growth. For some of you, financial relief appears just when you had accepted things couldn't get worse. Money owed to you may return, new income paths may open, or a burden that has been draining you finally lifts. This miracle arrives not as excess, but as stability, as relief, as a deep exhale after holding your breath for far too long. Emotionally, something profound begins to heal. A wound that you thought would stay with you forever starts closing quietly. You may not even realize it at first, but you'll notice you're no longer reacting the same way. You're calmer, stronger, more grounded. This is a miracle of emotional rebirth. The universe is restoring your inner power and reminding you who you truly are. For those who have felt lonely, unseen, or misunderstood, these days bring a powerful shift. The right people begin to recognize you. Someone may finally see your value, respect your boundaries, or step towards you with honesty and sincerity. Spiritually, your intuition becomes sharper than ever. Signs, numbers, dreams, and synchronicities increase rapidly. You may feel guided to make certain decisions without logic. Yet everything flows perfectly when you follow that inner voice. This is because your higher self is fully activated during this window. You are no longer being pushed. You are being guided. Many chosen ones will feel a strong urge to let go of something or someone during this time. And when you do, you create instant space for the miracle meant to replace it. Another powerful miracle unfolding during these days is protection. If you've been under negative energy, jealousy, manipulation, or spiritual attack, understand this clearly. It ends here. The universe steps in as a shield. Situations that were harming you suddenly dissolve. People who wished you ill lose access to you. You may not see a dramatic confrontation, but you will notice silence, distance, and removal. And that removal is divine intervention working in your favor. By the time January 25th arrives, many of you will feel like a cycle has finally closed. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer the same person who started this journey. You have risen quietly, patiently, and powerfully. The miracles arriving now are not just rewards. They are confirmations. Confirmation that you were chosen for this path. Confirmation that your struggles were not in vain. and confirmation that what's coming next will be bigger than what you've left behind. Chosen ones, stay grounded during these days. Rest when your body asks for it. Trust your intuition over noise. And most importantly, do not speak your plans to everyone. These miracles are sacred, and they are meant to unfold without interference. If this message resonates with your soul, you already know this was meant for you. Chosen ones, as this powerful window continues to unfold, there is something very important you must understand about the days ahead. The miracles arriving between January 22 and 25 are not loud or chaotic. They are precise, intentional, and deeply personal. This is why not everyone around you will notice what is happening, but you will feel it. You will sense a quiet confidence rising inside you, as if the universe itself is standing behind your back, whispering that you are finally safe to move forward. During this period, many of you will experience a strong urge to slow down, to detach from unnecessary conversations, and to protect your energy. This is not isolation out of fear. This is sacred withdrawal. The universe is asking you to conserve your power, because something important is being rearranged behind the scenes. You may notice delays or pauses just before a breakthrough, and this is intentional. What is being prepared for you requires precision, and nothing is being rushed anymore. Some chosen ones will suddenly realize that a long-standing problem was never meant to be solved the way they imagined. Instead of fixing it, it simply disappears. A situation loses its relevance. A person fades out of your life without conflict. A responsibility that once weighed heavily on your chest is lifted quietly. This is one of the most powerful miracles of this week. Effortless release. What once drained you no longer has access to you. You may also notice changes in your physical body during these days. Deep tiredness, followed by bursts of clarity, unusual dreams, moments of emotional sensitivity, or a strong need for silence. This is your system recalibrating to a higher frequency. You are shedding an old version of yourself that survived in struggle and stepping into a version that thrives in alignment. Do not resist this process. Drink water, rest, and listen to your body. Your energy is being upgraded. For those who have been waiting for clarity around love, relationships, or soul connections, this week brings a turning point. Truth rises to the surface without force. Someone may reveal their real intentions, or you may finally see a situation clearly without emotional fog. This clarity itself is a miracle. It saves you time, energy, and heartache. For some, this clarity leads to reconnection on a healthier level, and for others, it brings the strength to walk away without regret. Another powerful shift happens in your sense of purpose. Ideas that once felt confusing suddenly make sense. You may feel inspired to start something new, return to an old dream, or change direction entirely. Pay attention to what excites you during these days. These are not random thoughts. They are signals from your higher self pointing you toward the next chapter of your life. As January 25 approaches, you may notice a strange calm settling over you. Even if your outer world is still adjusting, your inner world feels steady. This calm is the final confirmation that the storm has passed. You are no longer in survival mode. You are entering a phase of intentional creation. From this point forward, your choices carry more power, your words manifest faster, and your intuition becomes your strongest guide. Chosen ones, do not underestimate this moment. You are standing at the threshold of a new timeline. The miracles arriving now are only the beginning. What follows in the weeks ahead will reflect the inner work you have done in silence. Stay aligned, stay humble, stay grateful, chosen ones. As this energy continues to deepen, there is one more layer of truth that must be revealed to you now. The miracles unfolding during this third week of January are not meant to look the same for everyone. because each of you has been tested in different ways. Some of you were tested through loss, others through silence, rejection, financial pressure, emotional betrayal, or long periods of waiting with no clear answers. But understand this clearly: the universe never forgets effort, patience, or tears shed in private. Everything you endured has been recorded energetically, and now the balance is shifting back in your favor. In these days, you may suddenly realize how strong you've become without even noticing it. Situations that once would have broken you now barely shake your spirit. This inner strength is one of the greatest miracles of all, because it cannot be taken away. The universe is no longer teaching you through pain. It is now teaching you through alignment. Doors begin to open not because you are chasing them, but because you are finally ready to walk through them without fear. Some chosen ones will experience a moment of recognition during this period. Someone may apologize, acknowledge your worth, or finally admit the truth they once denied. This is not for validation, it is for closure. The universe is allowing you to see clearly that what happened to you was never because you were lacking. It happened because you were being refined. And once this realization settles in, a heavy emotional weight lifts from your soul. You may also notice a sudden desire to clean, organize, or simplify your surroundings. This is a reflection of what is happening internally. Old energy is being cleared out to make room for higher frequency experiences. Pay attention to what you feel guided to remove from your life: objects, habits, routines, or even certain digital distractions. Each small release creates more space for the miracles aligning with you. Another powerful shift takes place in your communication. You may find it easier to speak your truth without fear of being misunderstood. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to those who cannot meet you at your level. This confidence is not arrogance, it is self-respect finally taking root. People will feel this shift, and they will either rise to meet you or quietly step away. Both outcomes are blessings. As these days come to a close, many chosen ones will receive a clear internal message, a knowing rather than a voice that says, "You are protected, you are guided, you are supported." This reassurance arrives when you least expect it, often in a moment of stillness. And once you feel it, doubt loses its power over you. From this point forward, life does not move backward anymore. Even challenges that appear will serve you, rather than drain you. You are no longer repeating cycles, you are completing them. The miracles arriving now are not temporary flashes of hope. They are foundations being laid for long-term stability, peace, and purpose. Chosen ones, trust what is unfolding, even if you cannot see the full picture yet. You are exactly where you need to be. Stay present, stay aligned, and remember, when the universe moves quietly, it is doing its most powerful work. As you move deeper into this new timeline, there is a subtle but undeniable shift taking place within your awareness. You may begin to notice that you are no longer reacting emotionally to things that once controlled your mood or your decisions. This emotional neutrality is not numbness, it is mastery. It is the sign that you have outgrown old triggers and stepped into a higher level of self-control. The universe is trusting you now with more responsibility, more abundance, and more influence, because you have proven you can carry it without losing yourself. During these final moments of this energetic window, many of you will feel called to reflect on how far you have come, not in a way that brings sadness, but in a way that fills you with quiet pride. You survived situations that were meant to break you, and instead of becoming bitter, you became wiser. This wisdom is now attracting opportunities that align with your soul rather than your ego. You are no longer settling for what is available. You are aligning with what is meant. For some chosen ones, a powerful realization arrives around self-worth. You finally understand that love, respect, and recognition do not need to be chased. They naturally gravitate toward those who are anchored in their truth. This understanding shifts the way you show up in relationships, work, and personal goals. You move with calm, certainty, rather than desperation. And this alone changes everything. You may also experience moments of deep gratitude during ordinary situations. A simple conversation, a quiet morning, or a moment of peace suddenly feels sacred. This is because your vibration has slowed into presence. When you are fully present, miracles no longer feel distant, they feel natural. This is when manifestation becomes effortless, because you are no longer forcing outcomes, you are allowing them. As this chapter seals itself, there is a strong message coming through for chosen ones. Do not look back with regret. Everything that didn't work out was protecting you from something that wasn't aligned. Every delay redirected you towards something better, and every ending created space for what you are now ready to receive. You were never late. You were being prepared. In the days following January 25, you may notice life responding to you differently. People listen more closely when you speak. Opportunities appear with less resistance. Decisions feel clearer and more intuitive. This is because you are now moving in harmony with your higher self. The struggle phase is complete. The alignment phase has begun. Chosen ones, carry this knowing with you as you move forward. You are not waiting for a miracle anymore. You have become the miracle through your resilience, your growth, and your unwavering faith during uncertain times. Chosen ones, there is one final layer of this message that needs to reach you, because what unfolds after this shift is just as important as the miracles themselves. When the universe delivers blessings to those who have walked through long periods of silence and struggle, it also changes their role. You are no longer here just to survive or heal. You are now stepping into a phase where your presence alone carries influence. Your energy becomes guidance for others, even when you say nothing at all. In the days ahead, you may notice people being drawn to you unexpectedly. Some may seek your advice. Others may simply want to be around your calmness. This is not accidental. You have crossed into a frequency of inner stability, and that stability is rare. The universe is positioning you as a quiet example of what alignment looks like after hardship. You don't need to prove anything. Your growth speaks for itself. There may also be moments when old memories resurface briefly, not to pull you back, but to remind you how much you have transformed. When this happens, do not judge yourself or feel emotional guilt. Instead, recognize it as closure completing itself. The past no longer defines your decisions. It only confirms your strength. This is how the universe seals cycles completely, without leaving energetic threads behind. As you continue forward, you may feel a stronger sense of discernment. You become selective with your time, your words, and your energy. You may say fewer things, but every word carries weight. You may do less, but every action has intention. This is not withdrawal from life. It is conscious living. And conscious living is where long-term peace and abundance are born. Another important sign during this phase is inner trust. You stop second-guessing yourself. Even when outcomes are still unfolding, you feel secure in your choices. This inner trust is one of the greatest miracles you receive, because it replaces fear with clarity. Once fear is gone, life flows with far less resistance. Chosen ones, understand this deeply. The universe is not testing you anymore. It is responding to you. What you think, feel, and choose now holds more creative power than ever before. This is why staying grounded, grateful, and intentional matters so much in this next chapter. Small decisions made from alignment will lead to big results over time. As this message comes to a close, allow yourself to feel proud of how far you've come. You didn't quit when things were unclear. You didn't harden your heart when things hurt. And you didn't lose faith when answers were delayed. That is why you are here now, standing at the beginning of something greater than you imagined. Chosen ones, walk forward with quiet confidence. Your season of struggle has ended. Your season of alignment has begun. And from here on, life meets you halfway.